want to tell you folks a little story of mine. Back in 2022 on 5/19, I channeled the symbol the 181. The 181 symbol. You can see this here. Just basically drew these 4 circles and a cross and drew those 2 lines, and I saw the 181, the 1331, and the 383. And I also drew a cross on the circles and came up with the 1144, and this 1144 got cut off. It was supposed to be up top there, but this ended up being a very important symbol, because so fast forward to 10/7 of 2024, that's whenever I'd get evicted from the place that I was living at the time, and that was the same day that the people in Gaza were getting evicted as well on 10/7, and that was because of Resolution 181. And I literally found Resolution 181 the day after on 10/08, 10/08, 10/08, the day after the colonizing began from Resolution 181, and I channeled the symbol, the 181. So to find this resolution the day after I was evicted, on that same day that they began the genocide over there, or the colonization, or both, I knew something was up, and I was being evicted, so I had to be out in 2 months, but I ended up packing up all my stuff and selling my business. I had a sushi catering business of 11 years. I was building bikes and flipping motorcycles, and I ended up selling all my stuff, giving most of my stuff away, packing up my Jeep and whatever I could pack in the Jeep, and having a little bit of room for Scout and I to sleep. Got Scout here, my co-pilot, and we left on 11/4, November 4th, 2023, and we've been adventuring in the Jeep ever since. So here we're in Sedona, Arizona right now, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what happened during this journey. So the day before I left on my journey on 11/4, so I found the Resolution 181 the day after my eviction on 10/08. So my eviction was on 10/7, the same day that Gaza got their eviction too, from Resolution 181, and that's the symbol that I channeled, was the 181. This 181 symbol here. So the next day, I got, after the day before I left on my mission, which I knew I was standing against the genocidal effects of colonialism, the day before on 11/3, that's whenever I found the Indian Removal Act. I went back in my records and finally found the exact date that I found the Indian Removal Act of 1830. We're talking about the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528, like 528 hertz, your solar plexus chakra. So this finding this the day before on 11/3, L mirrored and flipped, EL in capital letters, mirrored and flip it, it's the number 73. 73 minutes equals 113 in time, like 113, like I found the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 11/3. So I immediately mathematically connected Resolution 181 with the Indian Removal Act of 528 in 1830. So in military time, who was taking these people out? Who was genociding these people? The military, hired assassins of the government. So, but a lot of these people are indoctrinated into believing what they were doing was the right thing. So there's this thing. But yeah, anyways, 1830 military time converts to 6:30 in military time, or just in time. The date 6:30 equals 181 days, like Resolution 181, connecting with the Indian Removal Act of 1830. And that's on 528, like your solar plexus chakra, 528 hertz. Your inner light, solar plexus. So 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. Like 528, your solar plexus, and the Indian Removal Act of 1830, connecting with 181, not once, but twice. So I'm going to get into this. Literally have mathematical proof of this channeling experience, because what essentially happened was I channeled the Thoth the Jed Pillars on 8/8 of 2022, and I created the Lords of the Nine, or I channeled the Lords of the Nine, creating these Thoth the Jed Pillars, basically just connecting the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the 9 solfeggio tones. 963 hertz, 852 hertz. I know this is backwards, but I'm going to flip this thing around. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Paul, and I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8 of 2021, and on 5/9, the Lemuria. I researched the story of the Lemuria. Romo slays his twin brother Remo. You could say that 181, like the dog-eat-dog world that we live in. So that story is about colonization. The Republic is falling. Remo is being slayed. Romo slays his twin brother Remo. So Romo, when we take apart that word, the syllables, Ro, the etymology of Ro means man. Mo means more. More man slays more Re. What does Re mean? Re is the 9th solfeggial tone in music. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re. That's the 9th note. Like 432 hertz. Ohm. 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9. So literally the divine feminine frequency. Re equals note D equals 9 hertz equals the 9th note. One note A is tuned to 432 hertz. So literally the 440 hertz is being slayed by 432 hertz. They're the twins. Both of these frequencies live in the sacrum. So let's I'm gonna flip this thing around so you guys can see a visual of this Thoth the Jed Pillar instead of seeing my crusty looking face. And yeah, I apologize for this thing. Apologize for my face. Sorry, I'm not better looking. Yeah, so I channeled the Lords of the Nine, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, from the Thoth the Jed Pillars, or from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. So he's initiated into the Halls of Amenti, and he meets these Lords of the Nine. And whenever I was studying this book, I was trying to read in between the lines and wonder, what are these Lords of the Nine? What is he talking about? They're not what we seem. And I just had all these questions because I'd read the book so many times and listened to the audiobook to where I was getting annoyed with, like, what are these Lords of the Nine? So finally I just mirrored them. 3 was 33, 4 was 44, and just lining them up with the solfeggio tones, and it created this thing. And Thoth here, here, hold on a sec. I apologize for my filming skills. All right, just had to sit. I got a nice stack of slides here. Got all of this stuff printed out. Literally spent the last of my money to where I'm gonna have to fast the next 3 days because I'm selling calendar resonance synchronicity birth charts to people through Instagram, and that's my only source of income at the moment. But all that money I've been using for either food and drinks for myself and Scout, without my dog, and buying these prints. I've already spent over $200 on getting all of this work printed out to where I can teach these lessons now, and yeah, feeling pretty grateful. And so let's get to it. Let's kind of out of order, but well, gonna have to wing it. Gonna have to use your imagination because I can't find that one side, but we'll get to it. So whenever I mirrored the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we got 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, and 99 lined up with the 9 solfeggio tones. When I got to 1010, this can be written as 303, 404, 505 as well. So whenever we count in increments of 11, 33 plus 11 equals 44 plus 11 equals 55, or count in increments of 11, When I got to the crown chakra here with Thoth, I spelt his name by writing +1, -1, a circle, O, and then +1, -1, and that literally spells the word Thoth. You'll see it on the next slide, or on one of the next slides up here in a bit. So I kept this thing going in increments of 11. So 1111 plus 11 equals 1122. I line this up with the third eye audio. Now we're going down. This is the front side of our torus field, that is our aura energy field, and it's cymatic frequencies, or just mandala cymatic frequencies. And yeah, there's cymatic frequencies that have 5 stars. There's cymatic frequencies that have 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 8 stars. So anyways, counting in increments of 11, 1111 plus 11 equals 1122, lined up here at the third eye audio. 1111 plus 1122 plus 11 equals 1133, lined up at the throat chakra here. 1111 equals 1144. Remember the 1144 hertz monogram that I channeled on 519? Or let's see, yeah, that happened on 519. Channeled the 181, the 1331, and the 1144 hertz monogram that ended up lining up here at the heart chakra. This is the most electromagnetic organ in the body, and this 181 symbol, this is the electromagnetic sigil. If you were to flip that on its side, it's the electromagnetic symbol. So where is this at? Yeah, so 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528 hertz, the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. And to channel that the same day as the 1144 hertz monogram that lines up at the heart chakra, the most electromagnetic part of the body. So we're going to go through this actually before I finish counting down the Djed pillar. So I channeled that 181 symbol on 519, and 11 days before on 5/9, that's when I channeled I researched the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, the Lemuria, the colonization of, say that 181, and this is in 44 BC, and it's Re's being slayed. Re's the 9th note. It's the note D, equaling 9 hertz, the divine feminine frequency. So more man is slaying more Re, and have channeled this or researched that story the same day of the actual mocking of these dead twins. So 11 days. So that same day, I channeled that we're in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse through the veil, living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation. That crazy that this is 5/9 Lemuria and 44 BC, like 44 hertz altered frequency. So 11 days later, on 519, that's when I channel this 181 symbol, like Remo slaying his twin brother Remo, 181. So 11 days is equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. Remember I channeled that we're in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt on 5/9? So the 9th harmonic of the photon belt is 99 hertz, when 99 minutes equals 139 in time. 519 is the 139th day. That's the day that I channeled this motherfucking thing. And the 1331, 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. Like the 1331 sigil here. 19 days equals 5.19% of the year. I channeled this thing on 519. So this is representing the light. So I channeled 1144 and the 181 here on the same day. If you subtract 1144 plus minus 181, it equals 963 hertz, the 9th harmonic. This thing is stupid. So literally mathematical fucking proof that this shit happened. So, and if you're like, oh, channeling's it's satanic and it's the devil and all that shit, fucking, this is all about the creation of the reality. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals 48. That's the date that I channeled Horus the Falcon Sun God. 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equals 1776. That's the year that the U.S. was founded, and that's the year that the Illuminati, the Bavarian Illuminati, was founded in 1776. So this is all about Freemasonry. George Washington was a Freemason of the Fredericksburg, Virginia Lodge, and look at your dollar bill. Horus the Falcon Sun God's on that motherfucker, and so is the Eye of Horus and the pyramid. So they're using the knowledge of the pyramids, and there's a plagiarizing happening. So we're counting increments of 11. 33 plus 11 equals 44 plus 11 equals 55. Here at the solar plexus lined up with 528 hertz. Number 181 inches, or 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. This precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum lined up with 55. The 55th octave above sound is light. The date that lines up with 5 equals 126 days. The frequency sound of the sun is 126 hertz. 126 mirrors 621. The longest day of sunlight, 621. So we're counting from increments of 11 from the crown. Thoth is the crown, your thought. Masculine or the feminine in and the masculine out. Feminine in, masculine out. So 1111 plus 11 equals 1122 lined up here at Third Eye Audio. 1122 plus 11 equals 1133 lined up at the throat chakra. Plus 11 equals 1144. Your electromagnetic heart lined up at 66 and 639 hertz. So we're just counting increments of 11. We get down to the root chakra at 1177 plus 11 equals 1188. Now we're here at the sacrum at 44. The base of the pyramids of Egypt measure 440 cubits. Same with the Queen's Chamber in the pyramids of Egypt, of Giza. It measures 11.88 cubits, including the gable, and they found remnants of hydrochloric acid and zinc, which is an electrolyte metal, just like how we secrete bicarbonate electrolytes from our kidneys, and it's secreting it and reabsorbing it. It's actually secreted from the pancreas as well. But that's our electrolyte that fuels our oxidative phosphorylation and stimulates ATP production. Adenosine triphosphate. We have a 5-star mitochondrial matrix where your pancreas, here located at the solar plexus, is secreting enzymes that turns proteins into amino acids, the building blocks of your DNA, your heart DNA. So we're counting in increments of 11. 1188 plus 11 equals 1199 here at 528 hertz solar plexus. Now we're going up. This is the backside of the torus that we are. We're this giant torus within toruses within toruses, within like a fractal nature. We have all these different dimensions, and there's so many layers to this, to where this is just one perspective, and there's many ways that we can look at this. So I'm just trying to blast through this because I don't have that much sunlight. It's literally snowing out here. I'm in this super cool little park, and yeah, this is a more beefed up version of the Djed pillar. 33, 44, 55. Crown goes down, and then we're going back up the backside. So 1199 plus 11 equals 1210. 1210 plus 11 equals 1221. 1221 plus 11 equals 1232. Ending the inside of this thing. Up top we have this outer layer of the ether that's part of our crown. We're digesting ions, electrons, through ionization. The geometry for ions equals 99. 1111 divided by 99 equals 1120 equals 1122. 1122 divided by 99 equals 1133. This goes on until we get to 1188. 1188 divided by 99 equals 12. Like 12 notes of music, like 12 cranial nerves that connect to our 4 holes on each side of our sacrum. 44 times 12 cranial nerves equals 528 hertz. Solar plexus is charged. And if we were to use the number of the golden angle, the number of broken space-time symmetry, and photon absorption, because we're absorbing photons and shit, so 1188 divided by your golden angle 137.5 equals 8640, when the diameter of the sun equals 8640. And we have the sun here with our platonic solids being the tetrahedron here at the roots, the sacrum. We have the hexahedron, your cube. The sun here at the solar plexus, because we're at the solar plexus, makes sense. And here at the heart, ether, we have the dodecahedron. Our DNA is dodecahedron shaped. It's liquid crystal. Our proteins are liquid crystal. Our DNA is liquid crystal. And all of them shits is piezoelectric. So icosahedron here lined up at the throat chakra, water, ether, solar, earth, hexahedron, underground, your roots. This is underneath the soil. This is where your roots are growing, and this is the basement within ourselves where we plant seeds. We're absorbing photons, thought seeds, ideas, new potential new versions of self, or a copy of some other motherfucker that you're regurgitating. You're just absorbing that shit and just speaking it right out your mouth. You're not even absorbing this thing and becoming it. You're not integrating it into yourself. So we absorb thought seeds, and these thought seeds are being watered. We have an underwater or an underground aquifer running below that's watering the roots and creating conductivity because we are a giant Tesla tower. And that's what this thing is. Giant Taurus Tesla tower that we are. And the Matrix is sending telemarketers. I've already ended 2 telemarketer calls in a row. So yeah, when we connect the calendar to this thing, 1221, that's the winter solstice. So I connected the winter solstice with 1221 hertz, 1210 with 1210 hertz. And these are harmonics. The root harmonic of 440 hertz in the second octave is 110 hertz. 220, 330, 440, 550, 660, 770, 880, 990, 1210. That's a harmonic. And 1320, that's a harmonic of 440 hertz in the second octave. So we're talking about music, frequency, connected with the calendar, the number of broken space-time symmetry, 137.5, the golden angle, times 8 equals 110 hertz, times 8 plus 8 in parentheses equals 220 hertz, times 8 plus 8 plus 8 in parentheses equals 330 hertz. So this basically however many 8s, 4 8s equals 440, 5 8s equals 550, and that's multiplied by the golden angle in parentheses. So those 8s in parentheses can be a sigil for sound waves or a sigil for your DNA. So we're dealing with this sigil mathematics system here that's it's kind of bananas. So we connect the calendar here, 1221 with 1221 hertz, and whenever we get to 1199 hertz, the date, there's no date 1199, so I had to actually count this thing down, and the date 1129 lined up with 1199 hertz, like Resolution 181 established on 1129, and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 on, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, when 185 minutes equals 305 in time, and 305 minutes equals 505 in time, and your Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528 hertz, or 528 the date when 528 hertz lines up with all these. So you have 3 different genocidal events that all connect mathematically together, and they all line up here at the solar plexus. It's the colonization of our solar plexus, the Fibonacci. 55 is your 11th Fibonacci. So yeah, we counted down the dates, and here at the sacrum, we have the date 1118 lining up with 1188 hertz, your Queen's Chamber. That equals 322 days, like your Skull and Bones, 322. They worship Saturn, the cube, and this is where the hexahedron lines up. L, take away the E, you have your L, that's a square, that's 90 degrees square, that's your cube. The date 311 lines up with 44 hertz. 311 upside down is 113, 73 minutes equals 113 in time. L. So this worship of L and 322 and all the colonization acts, your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311, lining up with 44 hertz, 911 minutes equals 311 in time. Your Colonization Association on 1891 on 911 by your Bavarian philanthropist Maurice de Hirsch. So the date, let's skip ahead. Let's just go all the way up to 924, lining up with 1133 hertz. When I got to here, a year later, after putting all of this together, I realized that 741 lining up here with 777 from, this idea started from just mirroring the Djed pillars, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then connected the calendar system, and watch this shit. 741 minutes equals 1221 in time. 77 years equals 924 months. The fact that that lined up like that, get out of here. So 924 the date, where is it at? Plus 88 hertz, or 924, the date plus 88 days equals the date 1221. 1133 hertz plus 88 hertz equals 1221 hertz. And this happens throughout this whole thing, proving that this thing lines up perfectly. So your heart chakra, 1144 hertz plus 66 hertz equals 1210 hertz. At the throat chakra, the date 10/5 plus 66 days equals 1210. The date 10/5, the date 10:05 can be written as 10:05. So 10:05 minus 639 hertz, we're lined here with 639 hertz, the heart chakra, equals 366. When 366 minutes equals 6:06 in time. 6:06 lines up there too. What the fuck? Yeah, from 6:6 to 10:5 equals 121 days. 11:44 lines up with 10:5. The date 10:5 mirrored is 5:01. The date 5:01 equals 121 days. So this thing overlaps and does all kinds of just crazy shit. So the date 10:16 lines up with 11:55 hertz at the solar plexus. 11:55 hertz plus 44 hertz equals 1199 hertz here at the solar plexus. That's the date that lines up there. 10:16 plus 44 days equals 1129. Shit matches. So these videos are up on my YouTube, on my video shorts, and I recommend pausing and just meditate on anything that's resonating or calling out to you, because I've packed so much information in this to try to expect to learn this in one sitting or a month. Like this is like 2020. Yeah, this is about almost 5 years of full-on focus in the making, but this started back 17 years ago. So if you were to look at these as like 963 hertz your crown, 852 hertz your third eye, these are all cymatic frequencies, and if you're overlapping these cymatics on top of each other, you can literally see the head, the body, the torso, and then the root chakra being it's like if you're looking from the top here and you're looking straight down, that's what you're seeing when you overlap all these cymatic frequencies on top of each other. And these are just the number values. So whenever at the root chakra here, we have the tetrahedron at 720 degrees. When we interlock two three-dimensional tetrahedrons, create the vector equilibrium. So all the negative spaces that basically when you're fitting this, you'll see all the negative spaces, but then it fits to where it locks in and there's no negative spaces. And whenever you shine a light down, this is creating the Merkaba. That's the Merkaba on a two-dimensional piece of paper. So when you shine down the light on this three-dimensional Merkaba, you get the 19 circles in the flower of life, just like the 19 circles inside the hexagram insert on this 37 circle hexagram. See that? Pretty crazy. So this is all about perspective. And now this is the sacrum zoomed in. We have Virgo going down and Scorpio going up. Only two zodiacs with the letters M. And we're here at E. M, flip that upside down, it's an M. C equals square. The rune for C is a square. Your energy, your emotions, your matter, the things that matter most to you, it's your energy, your matter, your emotions, your ego mind, your emotional mind. So that thought seed that's sprouting into existence, it's gaining energy, emotion, matter, and it's about to oxidize into manifestation when it goes up to the next chakra. So these little cubes here, when bicarbonate that's secreted out of our kidneys, it's regulated by it, it secretes it and it reabsorbs it, so we're not pissing out our electrolytes. That's our body's natural electrolyte, and when it dries up, it turns into little hexahedrons, and that's your sacrum. It has 4 holes on each side of it, just like 4, 4. When you mirror 2 4s and put them back to back, it creates the E, it creates the M, it creates the pitchfork, because this is the lower waves. The waves are further apart. The higher that you go up into consciousness, the closer the waves are together. So the date 311 lines up with 44 hertz. Mirror and flip 311, it's 11:3. Mirror's 311. So 73 minutes equals 113 in time. Mirror and flip 73, you get L. Take away the E, that's a 90-degree square. Like this 90-degree square cube right there that lines up here. And the rune for Thor is a square. Thorium is the decay of uranium that we can absorb through ionization, just like electrolytes. And we're bicarbonates, the electrolyte salts, and this is what gives conductivity and fuels oxidative phosphorylation, the next chakra up. So, yeah, this is your Ra, your radium, and that's also from the decay of uranium, and it's very similar to barium. All that shit that all the electrolyte particles like aluminum salts and barium and cesium, all that shit that they spray in the sky. They're obsessed with all these lower electrolyte particles that are basically the shit particles, not the original bicarbonate. All the sodium bicarbonate that's in all the bottled water is shit. It's created from the salt ash method of yeah, it's just artificial. It's toxic and it doesn't promote the best cellular respiration. So bicarbonate works with nitric oxide, and your oxytocin stimulates nitric oxide, and oxytocin is in your hypothalamus chamber in your pineal gland, in your third eye audio, and nitric oxide is released in your endothelium in your heart, and that is a vasodilator and dilates your veins and your ventricles and lowers your blood pressure, and it's literally your body's immune system. It's toxic to parasites, bacteria, and tumor cells. It literally kills your body's natural way of curing cancer or killing cancer cells. So we're here at the L, your EL. L equals EL. Take away the E, it's still a square. Your Freemason square, your letter G. That's the 7th letter. Mirror L, just the letter L, mirror and flip it. It's a 7. Your 7th meiotic cell division is 128. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals L, heaven. L equals the square equals the cube. So, your 3rd letter C, your 11th letter K, they both share the same Anglo-Saxon Gothic Norfolk rune, which is a square. It's L. Just turn that thing 45 degrees, you sneaky bastards. Flip it back 45 degrees. It's the envelope. It's the Freemason envelope. Sneaky motherfuckers. So, 432 hertz, that represents the circle. Ohm. The universe vibrates at ohm. The universe of the cosmos is a giant womb that holds all the planets. And 432 hertz divided by the golden angle, 137.5, equals pi. A piece of the pie. That's a piece of the pie. So let's follow the date, 3.14. Let's follow the pi. It equals 73 days. Like 73 mirroring L. It equals 47 hertz in my calendar cipher system. That's 47 degrees separates the Tropic of Cancer with the Tropic of Capricorn. 23.5 degrees plus 23.5 degrees equals 47 degrees. On summer solstice, the longest day of sunlight, the Earth is tilted 23.5 degrees, with the sun shining towards the Tropic of Cancer. And on winter solstice, the longest day of night, the Earth is tilting the opposite direction, 23.5 degrees, towards the Tropic of Capricorn. So 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time, when 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours. Linking these two numbers together. 4 months and 7 days equals 5/7, mirroring 7/5. Your 47th president, he's on the Balfour Declaration. And That's set up for resolution 181 on 11/29, when 47 days equals 11/29 hours. Huh, interesting. 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time. The L actions were on 11/5. Yeah, speaking of L equaling a square, whenever you put all those squares together, you get one of those, and you get the photon as a holographic image of the photon. The photon represents the entire spectrum of L electromagnetic radiation, the smallest possible particles of light traveling at the speed of light. So this is the old school Mitri hat. Look at that symbol on there. Crazy. So 3/11, March 11th, your Constitution, Confederate States were adopted. A victory for Jesuit slaveholders. 9/11 plus 181 days, resolution 181, equals 3/11, equaling 44 hertz. And that lines up at the sacrum on my digit pillar chart. Your order of your Jesuits, that's their little symbol there. That's their ring. It creates the cube in there. It's the dags. The dag is the dawn. That's the horizon that chops off the head of the sun, and that 9 hertz sun going down into the underworld. That's where they wear the fish at. Where do the fish live? In the underworld. Age of Pisces. Pi? Let's follow the pi. Pisces? Pi. More pi. Pisces? Your daggers of the dawn. The daggers is the dagger. The horizon is the dagger. It's the straight line. It's the masculine that's cutting the circle in half. And that's what their little... That's Odin's rune. That's the rune for the letter O. And it's an X. It's a square. He's the male war god, that the destroyer of 9 realms. So, look at this guy here. These are actors and their stunt doubles. SpaceX, Twitter X. He really likes the word X. Like daggers of the dawn, that rune, and that symbol, and the photon. His name's Elon Musk. Let's see, he's an elite. And his name's Elon Musk. He was born on 6/28, equaling 5 months and 28 days. When 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like resolution 181. And your Indian removal of 1830 on 5/28. His birthday's on 6/28. 628 minutes equals 10/28 in time. The date 10/28 equals 301 days, like 181 minutes equals 301 in time. He has L. Evan kids. L-on has L. Evan kids. When 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. This just cannot be a coincidence. That's the electromagnetic force. That's a positive and negative magnet. That's a negative and positive magnet. Whenever you throw metal shards at that thing, it creates the 181 sigil. See, that's your electromagnetic field. Flip that thing up sideways. It's the 181. You guys catching that shit? So this is the order of the Jesuits. Adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11. And that thing on 9/11. 1860. This is on 1861. That's in 1891. 91 minutes equals 3/11 in time. 9/11 plus 181 days equals 3/11, equaling 44 hertz. 44 hertz lines up with the cube, L. So there's your rune for C and K. It's L. They just turned it 45 degrees, so nobody noticed. 73 minutes equals 1:13 in time. Your L 11th letter K. That's the rune for your L 11th letter K. 73 minutes equals 1:13 in time. 1:13 minutes 1:13 mirrors 3:11. Your third letter, your L 11th letter, C and K. The rune is a fucking L. 3311 lines up with 44 hertz. That lines up with the cube on my Djed Pillar calendar cipher system. So X is the 24th letter. Let's mirror and flip that. Or let's just mirror it. 42, the 42nd prime, equals 181. 911, the order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 911 in Roman numerals. 911 minus 181 equals 730. Mirror and flip it. It's L. The date 7/3 equals 181 days. 7/3 equals 181 days. He posted the X saying, Brian Real Estate. Born on 6/28. 628 minutes equals 1028 in time. 301 days equals 1028. 301 days equals 1028 the date. And fucking 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So, we got this guy here. Who's that? He was born on 1028. Oh, they just love that number because the G in Freemasonry, it's the L. L mirrored and flipped is 7. Your 7th meiotic cell division equals 128. Your flower of life frequency resonates at 128 hertz. So your 7th meiotic cell division, that's when the cells split into twins. We're talking about the twins, remember? 101 plus 128 days equals 59 the Lemuria. Mocking the twins. The colonization of Romo, slaying his twin brother Remo. The Republic falls. Remo gets slayed. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. That's Alessandro Farnesi's birthday. He's the one that approved the Jesuit order, colonizers. So 101 plus 59 days, because we're at 59 there. The Lemuria plus 59 days equals 301. When 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 301 days equals 1028. When I conclude with 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals the date 1129, like Resolution 181, established on 1129, splitting up Palestine, creating that imaginary place there. So, yeah, the Illuminati were founded on 501. 501 in time equals 301 minutes, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. May 1st, Masons, Matrix. You guys have been matrixed. So, yeah, 501 to 1028. Remember, 1028 equals 301 days. 501 to 1028 equals 181 days. Let's see here. Already gone through that. Basically. Yeah, so 501 equaling 95 hertz on my calendar cipher system. The Lemuria, this colonization, the 181 and 44 BC, that's actually just a very simple code. If you write 5 hours and 90 minutes, that equals 6:30 in time. Come on. That equals 6:30 in time, when the date 6:30 equals 181 days. 590 minutes equals 9:50 in time, when the date 44 equals 95 days. See how that goes round and round, and it's like 59 Lemuria, 181 and 44 BC. It's literally telling you. The math shows you the truth, because this thing was already written up whenever Pope Gregory created the Gregorian calendar, and Pope Paul III, or Alessandro Farnese, he's the one that approved the Jesuit order in 1540. L mirrored and flipped is 73. L 11 days. Yeah, you already know that. L mirrored and flipped is 73. The date 7:3 equals 590 hertz. Like the Lemuria on 59. It equals 181 days remain. The date 7:30 equals 154 days remain. I forgot to write remain on there. But like the Jesuits founded in 1540. So, yeah, Alessandro Farnese, Pope Paul III, he approved the Society of Jesus, the Roman Catholic military order, the Jesuits. And they're founded on 927, equaling 95 days remain in the year. Like the Lemuria. Like the Illuminati, founded on 501, equaling 95 hertz. 501 in time equals 301 minutes. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So this thing, it's a colonization code. And for the Lemuria, or for the Illuminati to be founded on 501 to equal 121 days, L mirrored and flipped is 73. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. 501 equals 244 days remain, when 244 minutes equals 404 in time. 501 lines up with 95 hertz. The date 404 equals 95 days. So it just keeps repeating that same pattern, just showing you that this thing was designed to colonize the shit out of humans. 9.5 plus 9.5 equals 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 days equals, or 190 weeks equals 1331 days, like my 181, 1331 calendar cipher system. So now that you guys see the importance of this number, 128, you can see how they mocked the movie Leave the World Behind. It was basically a Hollywood psyops to this whole ritual of Romo saying his twin brother Remo and the colonization, because 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria. This movie was released on, so the cover of the movie, there's a cargo ship, and then the other one is a buck, and the cargo ship has a reference to the lion on there, so the Leo, the lion, 37 degrees in Freemasonry and all that shit. So the Lemuria on 5-9 and that number 128 being the 7th might excel the vision. The frequency of the flower of life equals 128 hertz. 101 plus 128 days equals 5-9 Lemuria. So this is about the twins. The pillars represent the twins. So the Francis Scott Key Bridge was hit on 326 equaling 59 hertz on my calendar cipher system at 1:28 a.m. at night. And they hit the pillar, and that made the bridge collapse. So this movie, Leave the World Behind, is a psyops to that ritual. It's a colonization ritual. So where are we at here? So yeah, where are we at? The release date in theaters for Leave the World Behind was on 11/22, the anniversary of JFK being assassinated by these same people. So 11/22 equaling 326 days, like 326 the date that this happened. So, and the release date on Netflix, where is that? The Netflix release date was on 12/8, December 8th. Yeah, released on Netflix December 8th, which is written 12/8, like 128. So, now that you know that, the Francis Scott Key Bridge was hit, the cargo ship, on 3/26 at 1:28 a.m., 128 days before Francis Scott Key's birthday, 128 days after Biden's birthday. This is LA scored 128 points against the Bucks. LA, La, the note, the solfeggio tone La is for the note A, your Freemason compass. And yeah, the cargo ship was holding they had a Singapore flag raised. If you were to sing the note A poorly, it would be in 44 hertz. So this was following the lunar eclipse on 10/28. The North Tower on 9/11 collapsed at 10/28. The geometry for bridge collapse equals 128. See right there? Yeah, so that was a psyops for that. And the Last Supper was on 4/2, the 42nd prime equaling 181. The Last Supper measures 181 inches. And on the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26 of 2024, they were mocking this thing. See those people mocking this thing? The guy that was on the table had his nutsack hanging out right in front of some like little girl. Some pretty awful shit. So from 1:28 to 7/26, the date that they're mocking the Last Supper here, measuring 181 inches, and the Last Supper being on 4/2 and the 42nd prime being 181. From 1:28 to 7/26, mocking this Last Supper equals 181 days. What a coincidence. Remember, let's see, where am I at here? Remember these guys? The skull and bones, and that lining up with the sacrum at 44 hertz. 1188 hertz lines up with 1118, my birthday, equaling 322 days. I was born into this frequency. I decipher dipshits. So from 322 to 7/26, the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper, equals 18 weeks in one day, like 181. Huh. Once again, from the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26, where they're mocking the Last Supper, measuring 181 inches. Last Supper's on 181. Or the Last Supper's on 4/2, and the 42nd prime equals 181. So from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the 77-year anniversary of Resolution 181 on 11/29, the date that Resolution 181 was established, equals 18 weeks and 1 day, like 181. It equals 4 months and 4 days, like 181 and 44 BC, 59 the Lemuria. Now, let's get to the goods here. Speaking of the Jesuits and the first Jesuit Pope opening the portal doors at the Vatican, let's see what we got here. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26. Remember, the Last Supper is 181 inches. It was on 4/2, and the 42nd prime equals 181, and your 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like Resolution 181, and your Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28. So keep all that stuff in mind when I go through this. So from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, mocking the Last Supper, to the opening of the first holy door on 12/24, Christmas Eve, equals 4 months and 28 days, like 4 months and 28 days equaling the date 5/28. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening ceremony of the Olympics, opening of the second door on 12/26 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. It equals 22 weeks, like 22 days equaling 528 hours. That's a typo. So 4 months and 28 days equaling 5 months and 20, or equaling the date 5/28, when 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, and your Last Supper, 181 inches and all that shit. So, all right. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening of the third holy portal door. Wait. Let's go back to here real quick. You almost forgot to say this shit. This is the 162-year anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging. We're talking about all this colonization stuff, so I might as well bring that up. So, yeah. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening of the third holy door on 12/29, the anniversary of the Battle of Wounded Knee, the deadliest mass shooting on the Lakota tribe by the U.S. Army, equals 157 days, when the date 6/6 equals 157 days. The date, or this equals 22 weeks, like 22 days equaling 528 hours. The date 4/2 lines up with 66 hertz on my calendar cipher system, like the Last Supper on 4/2, and the 42nd prime being 181, and the Last Supper measures 181 inches. Yeah, who the fuck created this thing? It's gotta be Anunnaki. This has gotta be the Anunnaki, because it's the only explanation, because no human is this intelligent to create some system like this that long ago. And if any of this shit's even true, like, this could just all be a simulation, and we're all just being digitally indoctrinated, and who knows? I'm still open to many possibilities. I'm just investigating this stuff. And so, yeah, your 37 degrees in Freemasonry, Leo the Lion, mirrored and flipped, equals 037. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. There's 61 circles in the Flower of Life. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday. He's the one that created the Jesuits in 1540. You guys have already seen that. Let's see. What are we doing here? We're just showing. Oh, so, yeah. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26, mocking the Last Supper, to the fourth holy door opening on 101 of 2025, equals 5 months and 7 days. The date 5/7 equals 101 hertz in my calendar cipher. Like your 101 portal, the geometry for portals equals 101. The geometry for doorway equals 101. The geometry for Maui fires equals 101. The geometry for Palestine equals 101. The geometry for climate change equals 101. The geometry for weather modification equals 141, when 101 minutes equals 141 in time. So 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610, like 61 circles in the Flower of Life, and 61 minutes equaling 101. 610 days equals
1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like 181. 61 circles in the flower of life. 5-7 equals 128 days. The frequency of the flower of life equals 128 hertz. The seventh meiotic cell division equals 128. L mirrored and flipped is 7. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. So, let's see, from the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26, marking the Last Supper, to the opening of the fifth and last holy door on 1/5 equals 5 months and 11 days. Like the Lemuria on 5/11, equaling 132 days on leap year, with 132 minus 57 equaling 75. The date 7/5 equals 610 hertz. The date 5/7 equals, where is that? 101 hertz. 61 minutes equals 101 in time. Welcome to Portal Mathematics 101. So yeah, 5/11, that's the Lemuria. Your colonization went on 4040 BC. 5/11 in time equals 311 minutes. 9/11 minutes equals 311 in time. The adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11. It's a victory for Jesuit slaveholders. Who's opening this portal door? Your first Jesuit Pope. The Colonization Association on 9/11 of 1891. 9/11 plus 181 days equals 311 equaling 44 hertz. So 3 hours and 70 minutes, like 37 degrees in Freemasonry, equals 410 in time. The date 410 equals 101 days, equaling 75 hertz. Like 7/5 equaling 610 hertz, and 61 minutes equal 101, and 101 lines up there, and this shit's a clusterfuck. So 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals 5/11. The Lemuria, round and round we fucking go. So 181, 1331, this is basically the Thoth, the Jed pillars taken apart. You take apart the word Thoth, Thoth, you get the halls of Amenti. It's basically this Kundalini spiral taken apart into these pieces, and these numbers represent these sections. And 110 hertz, 220 hertz, 330 hertz. These are the root harmonic of 440 hertz, and the second octave is 110 hertz. So we're talking about harmonics, and the number of broken space-time symmetry, the golden angle, 137.5 times 8 equals 110 hertz, times 8 plus 8 in parentheses equals 220 hertz. 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 330 hertz. We're multiplying the golden angle, the number of photon absorption. So for 190 weeks to equal 1331 days, like this sigil here, and 19 circles in the flower of life, 19 days equals 5.19% of the year. I channeled this symbol on 519. The amount of synchronicity here is off the fucking charts. So when we take apart the word Thoth, Thoth, it creates 5 sets of 11. The 11th Fibonacci is 55. 55 lines up with 181. 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like 181. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. 550 lines up with 528 at the solar plexus chakra. So the flower of life, 61 circles in the flower of life times your electromagnetic force, L11 equals 671. The speed of light travels at 671 million miles per hour. 671 minutes equals 1111 in time. 1111 divided by your golden angle, 137.5 photon absorption, equals 808 ionization. The geometry for ionization. The geometry for electron is 303. 1111 minus 303 equals 808. Ionization is the energy necessary to separate an electron from an atom through photon absorption, ionization. So this is the Thoth digit pillar beefed up, zoomed into just the digit pillar. If we take apart the word Thoth, we get 5 sets of 11. That's the electromagnetic force. You can see that's the positive end, that's the negative end, that's the negative end, that's the positive end. If I was to throw metal shards over this thing, it would create the Kundalini spiral, the 181. That's your electromagnetic field. If you were to flip that up, it would create the 181. That's your photon, the holographic image of a photon. So 11 days equaling 3.01% of a year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. This thing overlaps and overlaps, and let's see. Yeah, this is the throat. This is the solar plexus going down. 1155 lines up with 55 hertz, and going up 1199 lines up with 520 hertz and 55 hertz here. So your electron tunneling potential 5 times 10 to the negative 19 power, that equals negative ground. It equals 288 hertz. That equals note ray, your sulfur tone ray. It equals 9 hertz. Equals vitamin D, sun rays. 101 plus 288 days equals the date 1016. Lined up here at your solar plexus, the date. So this thing is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm gonna cut it out here because my neck is starting to hurt from just sitting in this position. Dude, get some sleep. Oh, that's hilarious. Dude, maybe try and learn something instead of being indoctrinated. So, yeah, the English language was derived from Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon runes, symbols. The circle represents the divine feminine. The straight line represents the masculine, your square. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. That kid just kind of annoyed me. So, 42 days equals 1 month and 11 days. Like your 42nd prime equaling 181, and your last supper measuring 181 inches. And look at the 3 windows back there. Looks like the holy frequency 111. 420 days on leap year equals 111 days. The last supper on 4/2. So this is the mockery of the root chakra at 303. So your Indian removal active 1830, 183 minutes equals 303 in time. 1830 converts to 630. Remember, 630 the date equals 181 days. Your 5/9 Lemuria colonization. So 5/9 Lemuria, your Indian removal act of 1830, your fugitive slave of 1850. All of that's connecting with this, basically the crucifixion of the Son, the Son of God or whatever. So he is the photon that is essentially being absorbed and being planted as a seed in the root chakra. So whenever a new version of ourself is being born again, that's the rise of the photon, that's the rise of the phoenix, that's the hero's journey. So the story goes he was crucified on 4/3, equaling 67 hertz on my calendar cipher system. That's only on my calendar cipher system, nobody else's. So at age 33 in 33 AD, when the date 4/3 equals 3 months and 3 days. So the date 6/7, like 67 hertz, lines up with 330 hertz on my calendar cipher. So 670 minutes equals 1110 in time, like 1830 in military time equaling 1110 minutes. 1830, 183 minutes equals 303 in time. See how this thing goes round and round? The date 5/9 the Lemuria, 590 minutes equals, or 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 630. So 500, the date 228 equals 59 days. I don't have it written on here, but the date 228 equals 59 days, and it lines up with 33 hertz. So this thing fractals and connects with itself multiple times. So now that you've seen that, you can see what's being done in the narrative. So your holy frequency, 111 hertz. So your California Gold Rush of 1850, James Marshall panned the first gold, setting off the California Gold Rush, and that set off the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Pfizer was founded in 1849, the year before. What a coincidence, huh? So Indian Removal Act of 1830, 1830 in military time converts to 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. Resolution 181 on 1129, equaling 333 days, when 111 times 3 equals 333. So Resolution 181, if you look at the receipts, the Arab state was to have 11,100 square kilometers, equaling 42% of the state of 1410 kilometers. So your Days of the Dead on 11/1, your 1830 equaling 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. your Fugitive Slave Act to 1850, your Indian Rule Act to 1830. So see how that's all lining up. Your 42nd prime equals 181. So your 140, let's see, it's 14,100 kilometers when your 142nd prime equals 811. From 141 to 811 equals 1830, equaling 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. See how this thing just keeps fractaling through? But watch. So the Union Pacific Railroad from Sacramento to Promontory Point, that's where they're shipping this gold from. The Sutter's Mill and Placerville and uh, Nevada City and Garden Valley and Auburn City, all those mining towns that were around Sutter's Mill and Placerville. So the Union Pacific Railroad in Sacramento was shipping all this shit to Promontory Point, and Brigham Young was a board member of the Union Pacific Railroad Company. It cost $181 million to complete this, and it was 1110 kilometers in length, like your Days of the Dead on 11/1, and how that all connects with your Indian Move Act of 1830. So Brigham Young, it took him 111 days to arrive to Utah, arriving on Pioneer Day on 7/24. That's the same day that the Freemasons were founded in 1717 on 7/24, when 181 plus 181 times 4 equals 7/24. He was responsible for the Circleville Massacre. His Mormon battalion massacred the Paiutes at Circleville, and that was on 4/21, the 111th day of the year. So, from the Indian Move Act of 528 on 1830, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason, Andrew Jackson, to the establishment of Resolution 181 on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by your other Grand Master Mason, Harry Truman, equals 1410 months. Huh. Like your 141st prime being 811. 811 minutes equals 1331 in time, like the 181 schedule. So Leo, mirrored and flipped equals 037. Leo the lion holds his paw on the flower of life. There's 61 circles on the flower of life, and 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101, when 101 minutes equals 141 in time, like 1410 months separating two major genocidal events, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason and endorsed by your other Grandmaster Mason. And we're talking about 37 degrees in Freemasonry and all this shit here. So the guy that told me to get some sleep, you can eat a dick. Because I'm tired of this shit. So on 12/21, your longest day of darkness, where do we bury the dead on the day? The Days of the Dead is on 11/1, right? The Days of the Dead is on 11/1. What the fuck is this? Let's see here. Fucking blind. What the fuck is going on here? So anyways, the Days of the Dead is on 11/1. Your Hypogeum Temple of Malta resonates at 111 hertz. The Underground Temple of Malta and your Cairns Burial Mounds resonates at 111 hertz. This is well documented by Paul Devereaux, an archaeoacoustics professor at Cambridge University. Where do we bury the dead? Underground. In burial mounds. Where all the indigenous that were genocided, that's where they all are. The longest day of darkness. What happens when you go underground? When you're buried, you're in the darkness. So 12/21, your longest day of darkness, 111 plus 1110 equals 12/21. Your Days of the Dead on 11/1. Homeboy gets that thingy on 12/21 when 111 plus 1110 equals 12/21. From 12/21 to 111, when he gets his second one, equals 528 hours, like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days, like Resolution 181 and the Indian Move Act of 1830 on 528. So, yeah, the Balfour Declaration is what set up Resolution 181, and that was on 11/2 of equaling 59 days remain, like Lemuria. And yeah, here is another giant visual of this thing here. and this is basically the colonization cookbook. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. LEO mirrored flipped equals 037. Leo the line holding the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. And 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. When 101 minutes equals 141. And 141 minutes equals 221. And 808, the Lion's Gate portal equals 221 days in leap year. So we're talking about 37 degrees in Freemasonry here. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time. The date 410 equals 101 days, like the portal. 101, your Jed Pillar portal, equaling 75 hertz. 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals 511. The Lemuria equaling 132 days. 132 plus 132 minus 57 equals 75. The date 75 equals 610. 61 minutes equals 101. The date 57 equals 101 hertz. 410 equals 75 hertz, equaling 101 days. When 3 hours and 7 minutes equals 410, and 410. 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals 511 in the Lemuria, and round and round we go. So L mirrored and flipped is 73. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. L Evan times L Evan equals 121. L mirrored and flipped equals 73. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. That's happening two ways. 11 times 11 equals 121. Shit's a trip. 37 mirrors 73. Date 73 equals 59 hertz, equaling 181 days remain, like the Lemuria on 5/9, 181, 44 BC. So, if you're wondering why that O is on here and not over the O is on the wrong side, so that doesn't work. Well, let's look at the math. 37 times 3 equals 111. 61 times 3 equals 183. 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes. So, we're talking about 37 degrees in Freemasonry here. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals the date 48. That's the date that I channeled the horse, Falcon Sun God. 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equals 1776, the year that the U.S. claimed their independence in 1776. The Bavarian Illuminati was founded on 1776 on 501, when 501 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. The date 51 equals 121 days, like L. 730 minutes equaling 1210 in time. The date 73 equals 181 days remain, equaling 590 hertz. So 501 equaling 121 days equaling 95 hertz, equaling 244 days remain. When 244 minutes equals 404 in time, the date 404 equals 95 days. So 101 plus 4 months and 8 days. Remember, we got 48 from this equation here, and this equation came from this whole giant thing. So 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 59 in Lemuria, 181, 44 BC. And if we were to double that frequency, 48 plus 48 equals 96. 101 plus 9 months and 6 days equals the date 10/7, the date that Gaza got evicted from Palestine because of Resolution 181, established on 11/29. So, yeah. Here's this. That's whenever the Maui fires happened. And this is on ley lines. The geometry for ley lines equals 101. Geometry for Palestine equals 101. Geometry for Maui fires equals 101. Geometry for climate change equals 101. And they try to blame all the shit on climate change. Geometry for weather modification equals 141 when 101 minutes equals 141. You guys have already seen this equation. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Leo the line. Mirrored and flipped equals 037. There's 61 circles in the flower of life when 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. From the Lahaina fires on 808, the area code being 808. Of 2023 to the Gaza attacks on 10/7 equals 61 days. From this land grab to that land grab equals 61 days. And who's doing all the colonizing and land grabbing since the Encomienda in 1503? Colonizers, Masons, Jesuits. I'll leave you folks with that. And have a beautiful Tuesday. Peace.